Thank you so much for joining me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. This is Family Fun Week, and today is about fun finds. When my kids were little boys and we lived in Beloit, Wisconsin, there was a place called Dryan's Ice Cream Store. Had to be one of the most fun finds of our life because they had wild and crazy things like Crazy Cosmos ice cream. They made all of their ice cream there. I guess we'll call it homemade, old fashioned. And it was just astounding the flavors they had: bubble gum and licorice, Superman ice cream that was blue, kind of like Blue Moon when I was a kid. Really awesome flavors. And Crazy Cosmos was they would take all the stuff at the bottom of the barrel of each thing and jumble it all together. So you never knew what you're going to get, and every bite was different. I couldn't stand the stuff. My sons both loved it, and my younger son really loved Crazy Cosmos. What was great was you could get a scoop of ice cream for a quarter. So you could get a double scooped cone for 50 cents. When you're a really, really poor single mom trying to put yourself through nursing school on 500 bucks a month, being able to go somewhere and have a treat for less than $1 was really and truly amazing. And that was a great find. The other great find was right behind Dryan's was an old water tower. Not the kind with a metal structure, but a stone one with wooden steps. And I did, in fact, allow my kids to play there, and we would goof around there and we would make up stories, and it was really amazing. It was a fun find. There was a similar place in Athens, Georgia that we would go to, uh, probably close to 5 or 6 years later than when we were in Wisconsin, and it was called Hodgson's, and I think it's actually still there. And you could get an ice cream cone, a double dip ice cream cone for 70 cents. So you can tell that we really like to eat, and we all love ice cream, even to this very day. And so it was a great find, these simple places that were fun. There were other places I remember when I was a kid that my mom loved to go to. One of those places was Frankenmuth in Michigan, and she loved good cheese. And we would also go to the Christmas store in Frankenmuth, which is still there, incidentally, and an astoundingly fun find. There were places we would go in Ludington, Pentwater, to the lighthouse, which is an amazingly fun find, especially if you like walking along a pier or you enjoy hearing the sound of the waves at night and seeing the lighthouse light turn. There are just so many astounding fun finds, both from my childhood and from my kids' childhood, and frankly, even in our adulthood now. One of the fun finds for us is going to an Airbnb. A couple years ago, my son and grandsons and I went to a mansion in Detroit and stayed on the uttermost floor, the very top floor of it. We had to do a lot of stairs. That was a little challenging for my old knees, but it was amazing and it was really a great find. And then we were supposed to stay in one house when my grandson graduated from high school, and I think it had pipes burst, and so we couldn't stay there. And the fellow that we were renting from really wanted to rent to us. And he said, "I'm so sorry, this house isn't finished. There are things I'm still doing there. All the beds aren't put up. One of the bedrooms isn't finished. But if you don't mind staying in a kind of an unfinished project sort of a place, you can stay in the house." And we did. And it was wonderful. We had a blast there. We had such a great time. That was a fun find. When I moved to Fort Wayne and my grandsons were littler boys, the zoo there is astounding. And that was a great fun find. And when my sons were young, the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, the Chicago Institute of Arts, Navy Pier, going up north into Reedsburg, Wisconsin. Just so many fun finds. I want to invite you as a family to start finding fun. Find fun places. Find fun adventures. Something none of you have ever done before, and one of your kids says, "Mom, let's go whitewater rafting." And you're like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I think about that." Come on, develop a sense of adventure and fun and go for it. maybe you'll just go down a river on a tube first before you go whitewater rafting, or on a kayaking trip, or on a canoe trip. I confess to you, my former husband really did love skydiving when he was young, and I wouldn't do it. I struggled even to be on a plane when I was younger, much less to jump out of one. That one I wasn't quite up for. But we did do whitewater rafting. We did a lot of other crazy stuff. When my kids were young, we went canoeing. We went camping out. We just did so many fun things. You need to develop that atmosphere of finding fun. You need to find a fun family night once or twice a month where you play games and you turn off the television set and you turn off the movies, and everyone gets to choose their own snacks. So you might have Skittles and brownies and mint chocolate chip ice cream and a pizza. I mean, okay. Yeah, and everyone gets to choose something that they think is fun to eat, or oh my gracious, maybe you're actually going to have fun in the kitchen and you're going to prepare a bunch of these things for the first time together and see how it goes. And it might be messy and it might be crazy, but you'll laugh and you'll have a good time together. Look for fun. Life should have fun in it. I definitely mean this. You need to find fun. It's out there. At my grandson's one birthday party, we did so many crazy things. We did water balloon catch, and every kid at that party had a blast with it, and many of them had never done it before. Now, this is like 3 to 7 year olds, because my grandsons were 2 and 6 when they had this joint birthday party. Those kids had such a great time. We did run with the egg. And I confess, as I've gotten older, sometimes I'll boil the egg so it's not nearly as messy. But it's actually a lot more fun to a kid to know that if he drops that egg, it's going to go splat all over. He's got to go all the way back to the beginning and begin again with the egg and the spoon and have to do it. When it comes to things like sack races and three-legged races, wheelbarrow races where one has to hold the other one's legs, I'm telling you, there is so much adventure in the world. There is so much possibility of fun. I want you to develop this attitude of finding fun for your family to be involved in. Fun things to do, fun places to go, fun things to eat, just fun. I'm going to share with you a couple of other things that are simple. When there's a carnival along the side of the road, I know it's ridiculously, stupidly expensive, and perhaps even at some level a little dangerous. I get that. And yet, do your best to stop and at least ride the Ferris wheel. Take a few minutes in your life to have fun. Don't forget things like Six Flags, Cedar Point, Kings Island. I have to tell you that I went to Disney World over and over and over and over and over again with my sons because I had a 1 year annual membership, and we actually kind of almost got sick and tired of going. We went so often. But aim to have fun with your kids in every way possible, with your spouse, with your family. Make sure that you find fun. I suppose my challenge question for you today is go have some fun. When was the last time you did? Make sure that today is one of those days where you take time out to have some fun together. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.